So let's talk trigonometry and proof. So here we have an equation. We have to say we have to prove that. Prove that means we have to arrive at both sides being the same value. Now we can prove either way, right? Whichever is easier. But let's have a look at this part. So when they are saying that this is a sine of an angle 2 multiplied by a, I can write that as a sine of a plus a, isn't it? Because that will become 2a. Okay, so now to the table to find the formula. And on the other side, to sine a cos a, because that's where we are going. Okay, so let's go to the table and find sine of angle added to an angle. So sine of angle added to an angle. So that's the second formula that we have here that we can use. Okay, so how do we use that formula? So in our case, both letters are A. So that is A, that will be changed to A. That is A, and that will be changed to A. So applying that formula, instead of having sine of angle A plus A, we can write this side of the equation because we have equal sign. So we are saying sine of A cos of A plus cos of A, sine of A. Now on the other side, we're still saying this is what we have, 2 sine A cos A. Now what we have to understand that what do I have here? It's a multiplication sign. And if it is not obvious, multiplication is interchangeable, isn't it? So I can write that, I can swap places here because that doesn't mean that I'm changing the value. So I swap the places and now I can clearly see that both of them are exactly the same. So this is the same situation as if I had x plus x, and therefore I'm going to say, oops, I'm having 2x. So that's the same idea. Here we are saying 2 of sine A cos A, and that equal to sine A cos A. Now, very often in your question, when they are looking for a proof, then in the next part, we're going to be applying that proof because that part B has part 1 and then has part 2. Let's have a look at part 2. Okay, so part 2, the triangle ABC is shown below. That's the triangle. And then we have measurement. AB is 5, AC is 3. Excuse me. Then we have angle W. And then we have another angle, 2W, and they are telling us that that W is actually between 0 and 45. So what do we need to do with this information? Find the value of cos V in the form. What that means that I'm going to end up with answer cos W, not V, my apologies, will equal P over Q, and they are telling me that both of those numbers here at the end belong to n. They're going to be whole positive value. And then the next part, they're giving us a tip. Use what? Answer from part B1, and answer from part B1 was the idea here that we can, let's just get that when I have double angle here, I just use that here, that when I have here a double angle, then I can write it that way. So we are using that and a sine rule. So what's the sine rule? Let's go to our table, page 16. That's where we have our sine rule. So this is about ratio of sides to a sine of an angle. So how do we deal with that? Well, we know there is 3 of them, but we're going to be using only 2, depending on what kind of information we have. So how do I know how to solve that? Well, I need these letters in my own triangle so that I know what I'm dealing with. How do we put those letters? We can start with any letter, doesn't matter. Let's say we start with A, right? That's our first letter in the alphabet. So if I am saying that this angle is A, therefore the side opposite here will be A. If I am saying that this angle is B, therefore the side opposite here will be B. So I can clearly see which part of my formula I'm going to use. If you can, let's get that formula here. Let's write it down. So you can see that the information we have, small b, capital A, capital B, those the two fractions we're going to use. So let's put numbers in place of letters. So small a is what? 3 divided by sin. What's capital AW? And that is the same as on the other side, small b, that is 5, divided by sin. And my capital B is 2W. Now, and this is where our formula from previous Cert comes in. Look at that. That's the situation I have. Now, the only thing we are changing the letter A to W, so that means here I'm going to have W and here I'm going to have W. So let's do that change. So 3 over sin of W is the same as 5. Now, why are we going to do that change? Because where are we going? Let's not forget, we need cos W. And in the present situation, we don't have even cos here. But that will allow us to bring in cos. So sin W cos W. Now, when I have fraction equal fraction, how do I deal with it? We can cross multiply it, isn't it? So 3 multiplied by 2 multiply. Now, I like writing that multiplication sign so we are aware what is actually multiplied by what, isn't it? Because often when we don't have that multiplication signs, we're not even sure. Okay, so where am I going with my calculation? I want cos of W. I have seen here, I don't need it. It's a multiplication. How do I get rid of it? By dividing. Why do we divide? Because sin of W divided by sin of W will be 1, and 1 in the multiplication doesn't make any change, and the same here. So that means on this side of the equation I have 6 cos W, and on the other side I have 5. Where am I going? I want to have just cos of W, not cos of W multiplied by 6. To get rid of multiplication, again, we divide, and we divide both sides of the equation. So there it is. We have our answer, 5 over 6, and that fulfills our condition. 5, 6, both are natural numbers.